Welcome to a video where I test my knowledge. I got some quizzes open. We're doing American history, we're doing British history, and we're doing general knowledge quiz. Let's see what I know. Is that good? Is that a good YouTube voice? Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Independence Day was first established as a holiday by Congress in what year? Oh, Jesus Christ. I don't know. Oh no. Okay, it would have been after actual Independence Day of 1776. It would have been after that. It was probably before 1938. I'm going to say, oh God, 1853. That was kind of around the time of the Civil War. That might have been something that they did as a sort of an attempt to try to bolster national pride and keep people from secession. I don't know. Oops, better luck next time. It was 1870. Okay. Who was the first president to live in the White House? That would have been John Adams. Washington, Adams, Jefferson. Yeah, John Adams. It was the second. That's right. Woo! John Adams took residence in the White House on November 1st, 1800. In the first few days of his residency, he wrote a letter to his wife, Abigail, containing this prayer. I pray heaven to bestow the best of blessings on this house, and all that shall hereafter inhabit it. May none but honest and wise men ever rule under this roof. How'd that work out for you, huh? What do the colors of the American flag symbolize? Oh boy, I don't know. I can tell you what the other symbology of the flag is, the stars and the stripes and all that, but the colors? I mean, a lot of countries use the red, white, and blue, and I assume that it probably means the same thing because there's like a standardized like emblem language sort of thing that goes on. Red for compassion, white for peace and unity, blue for remembrance. Red for revolution, white for stability, and blue for integrity. Oh. Red for hardiness, purity, perseverance. That one? Yeah, boy. I mean, I didn't know that. It was a guess, so can I really be proud? Calvin Coolidge was the only U.S. president born on the 4th of July. 3 presidents, however, died on that date. Who were they? George Washington, Chester Arthur, and James Monroe, Abraham Lincoln, Thomas Jefferson, and Richard Nixon, Zachary Taylor, Martin Van Buren, and Warren Harding, John Adams, Thomas Jefferson, and James Monroe. I think it was this one, because John Adams and Thomas Jefferson died on the same day, right? Like exactly the same day? Yes. You really know your history. Former Presidents Thomas Jefferson and John Adams were the last surviving members of the original signers of the Declaration of Independence. Oh, that's sad. When on July 4th, 1826, they both passed away within hours of each other. Yeah. Interestingly enough, July 4th, 1826 was also the 50th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence. Former President James Monroe died on July 4th, 1831. All right. On July 4th, 1976, Americans all over the country celebrated our nation's 200th birthday. How many tons of fireworks were exploded in a magnificent display above the Washington Monument in Washington, D.C.? I'm going to say 24. 33 tons. Because my thinking was like, with a quiz like this, I was like, the highest answer might be a trick, and so like the second most would be the right one. But no, it was the highest. 33 tons. Okay. Where did John Philip Souza compose the Stars and Stripes Forever, the official march of the United in an army bunker during the Civil War in Washington, D.C. after visiting the White House for the first time, in his living room after a particularly good dinner, on a boat en route from European vacation with his wife. Okay. I don't think John Philip Sousa was alive for the Civil War. I don't think. I'm not sure about that, though. He might be that old. I don't know much about John Philip Sousa. In Washington, D.C., after visiting the what? That's a funny answer. I don't know, so I'm going to go with the funny answer. Nope. Composed the famous march on Christmas Day after he learned of the death of David Blakely, the Sousa band manager. It was performed for the first time at Willow Grove Park in Philadelphia. What? This wasn't an answer. None of these answers are that. What? You didn't tell me what the right answer was. Where was the first 4th of July celebration with a fireworks display held? I'm leaning towards Boston. Because Boston's kind of like important to the history. But it could just be a whole curveball and be Atlanta too. I'm going to say Boston though, because Boston's really historically important. Historically important. And that seems like that would be a good place to do the first one and be like, oh, look at this cool thing that we're doing. Look at that. Boston, Massachusetts held the first 4th of July celebration with the fireworks display on July 4th, 1777. Oh. True or false? Pierre Longfong was fired from his position before the National Mall and the Capitol building were completed. Okay. You should. Architect Pierre Longfong was a dear friend of George Washington who hated having to ask him to step down. Unfortunately, however, Longfong became unresponsive and headstrong in the planning of the mall, and his hot temper conflicted with the various building projects he oversaw. He's buried in Arlington National Cemetery overlooking the city he designed. Oh, that's nice. I didn't know who that was. How does the community of Seward, Alaska, celebrate the 4th of July? They raise over 200 flags. Why would I know this? Why is this in the American history quiz? Why would I know this? Of Seward, Alaska. I've never been to Alaska. I've definitely never been to Seward, Alaska. What are you talking about? Largest picnic celebration. They participated in a 6-mile foot race to the top of Mount Marathon. Children light thousands of candles in a festival of lights. They reserve 200 flags outside the courthouse. This sounds like some horror movie garbage. This one? I don't know. The tradition of running to the top of Mount Marathon began in the early 1900s as a competition between sailors coming into Port Town of Seward. In 2011, the event was officially inducted into the Alaska Sports Hall of Fame. That's weird. Why would you do that? The U.S. flag is flown 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, by either presidential proclamation or law at the following places except Washington Monument in Washington, D.C., United States Marine Corps Memorial, Iwo Jima in Arlington, Virginia. Oh, God. Okay, so probably the White House. Probably anything in D.C. I'm just going to go with the one that's not like the others. No, okay. There are 8 the 8 total locations where the flag must be flown 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The Washington Monument, the White House, Flag House Square in Baltimore, Maryland, Fort McHenry National Monument and Historic Shrine in Baltimore, Maryland, on the green of the town of Lexington, Massachusetts, the United States Customs Ports of Entry, the grounds of the National Memorial Arch in Valley Forge State Park. So not the World War II Memorial. Okay. 2014 marked the 200th birthday of... Whew, boy. Okay. 200th birthday, 2014. Okay, so It was like the 70s or whatever, where it was the 200th birthday of the country. It was like 77, 74 or something like that. I don't, God. It said that earlier in the quiz. So the 200th birthday would have to have come after then. So the Smithsonian? It was the Star Spangled Banner in 1814. Okay. You scored 5 out of 11. Okay. There was just some weird questions in there, to be fair, but we're gonna just move on. We're doing British history now. What was the capital of Roman Britain? Okay, so Londinium seems like the obvious answer because London is the capital and it has been the capital for most of British history, as far as I know. And that seems like the obvious answer, and I think I might just go with the obvious answer. No, it was Colchester. Right. Is this supposed to help me? Okay, whatever. Who was the first Archbishop of Canterbury? St. Augustine? Hey, look at that! There he is! What is he doing? Why is his apple on fire? Is that a heart? I don't. Okay, we're just gonna. In what year did the victorious Normans start work on the Domesday Book? um. Uh. Hey, look at that! I know what I'm talking about. That wasn't a guess. Who was crowned as the first king of England? Ooh, ooh, ooh. I know this one. I didn't know that one. Well, anyway. I thought I knew that one. And what year did Henry, that number, split from Rome? The 8th. That's 8. This was when he formed his own church so that he could divorce his wifey and marry other wifeys. 1530. Hey, look at that. My guess. It's a good guess. I had a good guess. Which English monarch signed the Magna Carta? I think it was one of these two. Oh, it was wrong. It was John. I was super wrong. I was double wrong. What was the first pitched battle of the English Civil War? Battle of Newbury? Battle of Naseby? Battle of Marston Moor? Battle of Edgehill. I have never heard of anything even remotely close to any of this information. I didn't even know that there was like a English Civil War. Like, isn't most of English history just a bunch of civil wars? No. Okay. Edgehill. Battle of Edgehill. Which English monarch was overthrown as a result of the Glorious Revolution of 1688? See, there's another civil war. King James. Yes. Yes. I remember that people didn't really like him. In what year was the first Act of Union passed? Okay, so is this for the United Kingdoms, like the formation of the United Kingdoms? 1711? No, it was 1707. Okay, I know that like Scotland got bullied into that a little bit, you know. Which battle ended the Jacobite uprising of 1745? Oh, Battle of Preston. No, it was the Battle of Culloden. Oh no. Which of these companies was responsible for the devastating economic collapse of 1720? It was the South Sea Company. Which British officer famously exclaimed, "By God, sir, I've lost my leg," after being struck by a cannonball at the Battle of Waterloo? Uxbridge. No, it was Uxbridge. Look at him. How many British monarchs were emperors/empresses of India? What? I don't know. 6? 5. They look like they're stoned. Arising in the 18th century, they probably were stoned, to be honest. Arising in the 18th century, the Industrial Revolution was kickstarted by which burgeoning British industry? Cotton. Okay. What was the Cat and Mouse Act of 1913 designed to prevent suffragettes from doing? Cat and mouse. Okay, smashing windows, holding violent protests, spoiling census forms. Going on what does that make sense? Why is it called the Cat and Mouse Act? What does that mean? Which of the following war poets was killed in the final days of the Great War? Wilfred Owens. Hey, look at that. 5 out of 16. I got the same amount of questions right for each quiz. Alright, next. The last one is a general knowledge quiz. I'm really doing good here. Really showing myself to be a very knowledgeable person, I'm sure. Which civil rights activist was famous for being given her seat on the bus? It was Rosa Parks in Montgomery, Alabama. Whoa, what just happened there? Which of these letters is not a vowel? W. Who was the original king of rock and roll? Elvis Presley. Agent 007, featured in many movies dating back to 1962, is known as James Bond. James Bond. What flightless bird went extinct in the 1660s and was a reputation of stupidity? The dodo bird. Friggin' Charles Darwin and all that. I think. Don't quote me on that. What plant is traditionally the primary ingredient in wine? Grape. See, this is easy. Why couldn't the history quizzes be this easy? The human brain communicates with the rest of the body through networks of what? Nerves. The poster for which film from the 1950s features 3 skipping characters all dressed in bright yellow raincoats and swinging umbrellas? Singing in the rain? What chemical is added to U.S. water supplies in the hopes of improving dental health? That is fluoride. They're putting fluoride in the water, making the frogs gay. Putting chemicals in the water, turning the friggin' frogs gay. The famous I Want You for the U.S. Army poster from World War I features an image of whom? Uncle Sam. Which of these was not one of the Snow White 7 dwarfs? Sappy. Newton is said to have been inspired by what to describe the theory of gravity? An apple falling from a tree onto his head. What is the head of the Roman Catholic Church called? The Pope. The Pope. Which U.S. president is thought to have taught himself how to read and write? Woodrow Wilson, Abraham Lincoln, John Adams, Theodore Roosevelt. Probably Abraham. Yeah. Because he was poor. He lived out in the middle of nowhere in a cabin. Which English king was famous for beheading his wives? That was Henry VIII. According to the Big Bang Theory, how did the universe begin? An explosion, a meteor shower, silicon expansion. An explosion! See, I know about Henry VIII. So, back on that question about Henry VIII in the British history quiz, I know about Henry VIII. Just not dates. I don't know dates. In the Iliad, Greek forces besiege the people of what kingdom? Troy. Yes. Which American town was famous for its witch trials? That would be Salem, Massachusetts. Yellowstone National Park is in which of the following states? Yellowstone is in Wyoming. Which of the following is not an island in Hawaii? Maui, Kauai, Oahu, Mauna Loa. It's between these two. It's one of these two, I think. I've heard of Mauna Loa. Mauna Loa. Kauai. That sounds familiar too. Okay. Which of these foods was invented in Australia? Croissant, pizza, Vegemite, hot dog. Vegemite. No one thinks you're cool, motorcycle guy. Douchebag in a residential neighborhood revving his motorcycle like that. What's the dude's problem? Jesus. Idiot. What famous comic strip written by Bill Watterson centered around a young boy and his stuffed tiger? Calvin and Hobbes. Digestion typically releases what chemical that makes you happy? Melatonin. What? What? No, melatonin puts you to sleep. K. In the Harry Potter series, Harry must battle which evil wizard? Voldemort. All known elements are organized into something called what? The periodic table. Who authored The Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit, and many other books which take place in Middle-earth? J.R.R. Tolkien. Which star doesn't appear to move through the sky over the course of a year? The North Star? Yes. What animal feeds almost exclusively on bamboo? Orangutan, kangaroo, pandas. Why was the Boston Tea Party so named? American revolutionaries threw tea off British ships. Yes. Dressed as natives, which is kind of a douche move. They were like, let's cause chaos and stick it to the man. But let's dress as natives so that they don't catch on to us and try to prosecute us. Like if you were trying to start a revolution and make a statement and make a movement like that, you'd think that you would want to do it as yourselves to make the point that the citizens of Boston don't like the British rule. But no, they dress themselves as natives for some reason because why? What's the point of that? What are you achieving? Wouldn't you want the British to know that it was you, the citizens of Boston? You know? I don't understand. Mount Kilimanjaro. Where is Mount Kilimanjaro? Kilimanjaro is in Africa. So Tanzania. Which language is spoken by most people on the continent of Africa? Arabic? English, French, Spanish. Oh, that's a tricky one. It could be any of these. I don't think Spanish really, but it could be any of these. French is pretty big in the north. Arabic? Oh. Say French. English. Okay. I guess that makes sense because English is the international language at this point. The cardinal is the official bird of which of the following states? I think it's North Carolina, but it could be all of the above. I usually go with an all of the above if it's present. I'm pretty sure North Carolina is true, but I don't know about the other two. All of the above? All of the above. What is the Taj Mahal? A monument to learning, a royal palace, a large business center, a mausoleum. It's a mausoleum? I thought it was a palace. Huh. Where do penguins live? Greenland, Nova Scotia, Antarctica, various locales in the southern hemisphere. True. True dat. They got them in South America, too. Which of the following foods is properly considered a nut, not a legume or a seed? Cashew might be a nut. Peanut is a legume. Cashew, I think, is a seed. Pistachio. A hazelnut? Yes. 91%. 91%. See, look at that. I know things. I'm not a complete not knower. 91%. Yeah, boy. I mean, let's forget about the history quizzes. Those didn't happen. Just didn't happen. Okay? Forget about those. Because that makes me look better. Focus on the 91%. And let's leave it at that. So, bye.